touchdown, a Chiefs love story, one of the most anticipated Hallmark films of the season. Tyler Hynes and Hunter King here to chat all about it. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much for
having
having
us.
us.
The film premieres on Saturday. Let's go ahead and start with you, Hunter. Let's talk a little bit about the role of Lana, being the super fan, and kind of what we get to see in the film.
Yeah, she's the biggest Chiefs fan in the world. Her and her family, they've been season ticket holders for longer than she's been alive, and they want to win the Fan of the Year award. She meets Derek, who is the director of fan engagement, and he's a little bit newer to football. He's a little bit newer to the Chiefs,
Bit of a
and
putz, yeah.
so they butt heads at first because she really was expecting someone who was more on their game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but they, with a friendly shove from her family, I think they start to find love, and there's a little bit of a spark between the two of them, and we're just so excited for everyone to see this movie and to see all of the amazing cameos throughout it.
We're always talking about those in a few moments, but Tyler, let's talk a little bit about whether you were a football fan, a pop culture fan. You couldn't escape the Chiefs this year. It's the first time that Hallmark has teamed up with a professional football team for a movie. You also got to film at Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, talk a little bit about what that experience was like.
It just felt like the culmination of a lot of things. It felt like sort of a meeting ground for all things culture. You have Taylor Swift and Travis's story. You have Hallmark doing Christmas like no one else has ever done, and that's kind of at its peak. You have Chiefs achieving things that have never been done before and possibly breaking all kinds of newer records this year. So it felt like the culmination of a lot of things at a time when everybody wanted to find a meeting ground where they could all agree on something and root for something and hopefully find a community in something. And I feel like there's a lot in here for everybody from all walks of life. So it felt like we were kind of at the middle of that, and it felt like we were making a movie somehow.
Yeah.
In and amongst the craziness of it all.
And Hunter, what was it like, to film inside of Arrowhead Stadium, to be in Kansas City, to be there with that, just, extras. I mean, I love extras, and, they're part of the experience, but these were like super fans decked out in their red. I mean, did that give you an extra pump of energy, throughout the filming?
Oh my gosh, 100%. And it was like the hottest day of the year, one of the days that we were filming at Arrowhead Stadium. It was very hot. We're in our winter gear and looking at all of the background actors, and they're just sitting there in the blazing hot sun with all of their stuff on. It does give you a surge of energy. Like, we've got this, we got their support, we can all do it together. We're in this together. We're a team, but it was so much fun getting to film at Arrowhead Stadium. I'm a football fan. I grew up with this idea in my head that I was going to be a quarterback.
Still is.
That dream is still a little bit alive. But getting to film at the stadium and get to be on the field and experience it like that was just, I don't know. It was something that I could only dream about. I didn't ever think that I would get to experience something like that.
That is amazing. I want to talk about a couple of the cameos that are in the movie, and obviously, Donna Kelsey, Mama Kelsey is one of those big ones that we get to see. What was that day like filming? When she was on set?
It was a few days, and
Yeah.
it was wonderful. Yeah, it was during sort of the chaotic moments in the stadium and in the restaurant, and it was beautiful. She is everybody's, she's the American mom. She's everybody's love, and we were very grateful to have her in and amongst us, and she outacted me certainly every moment she could. She was the best.
She played a great character.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
I also want to ask both of you, and Hunter, I'll go ahead and start with you. As far as this inspiration, as far as being a super fan, was there anything that either you have now or growing up that, whether it was a movie, an artist, a sports team, that you were a super fan, that you could be like, oh, this could be my movie because I loved, or I could draw inspiration because I loved, this particular thing?
I mean, I grew up loving Peyton Manning. I don't know what it was about him. I think it was seeing his Oreo commercials, so I was like, he is a good guy.
Oh, the Oreo commercials.
I think it was the Oreo commercials, yeah. Yeah, I think it was that. But I grew up loving Peyton Manning and finding a love for football, and so then getting this call and being like, I get to be in a Hallmark Christmas movie that's also tied with the NFL. I'm sorry. So I just need Peyton Manning to watch this movie, and then I can die happy.
I bet you he will. I mean, it's football. It's Christmas.
He has to, right?
Yeah.
He'd be
P-Man.
crazy not to.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Tyler?
I mean, it's funny because my character is not sort of engaged in that. He's kind of the guy who is a facilitator for the family and kind of the audience, and just witnessing how beautiful this fandom is, and how much this team and the city has affected this family in such a positive way. And I think he just wants to be a part of that. So for me, being Canadian and my lack of feelings when it comes to organized sports, because I grew up a skateboarder, it felt like it was useful in this circumstance, because I got to become a fan of Hunters and our cast and the city, just like this character is. So I not that I ever act in these movies, but I was not acting in this one, certainly.
Well, definitely go check it out. It's premiering this Saturday. Holiday Touchdown: A Chiefs Love Story on Hallmark Channel. Happy holidays to both of you, and thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you,
Thank you. Happy
Rudy.
holidays.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.